David K. Johnston, thank you very much for joining us here on NewsX World. It's always a pleasure to get your insight. We now move on and over to North America. And US President Donald Trump has indicated that he is open to authorizing targeted American strikes inside Mexico, a move that would represent a dramatic escalation in Washington's campaign against powerful drug cartels operating across the region. Trump has said that he would be okay with the United States taking whatever actions were necessary to curb the flow of drugs into the country. Trump has remarked a willingness to consider direct military measures beyond US borders, a step that would carry significant diplomatic and security implications for both nations. Dr. Satoru Nagao joins us now. He's a fellow at the Hudson Institute and he joins us live from Tokyo. Dr. Nagao, thank you very much for joining us. How big of an escalation would this be if the US president authorized strikes in its closest neighboring country? It's one of its highest trading partners. What would be the implications of this?
In this case, we should be careful because President Trump said he's replying the question from media that it's okay for me, and but he hasn't said he decided to do that. So if he will do that, it is on something like that, he said. So that's why this is not the situation.
So apologies there, we have some audio issues once again. Apologies to our viewers for that. Hopefully we get Dr. Nagao back once we get that problem sorted out. So, of course, Donald Trump has released statements and said that he is open to striking Mexico due to the war he has made on narco-terror groups, many of which operate out or south of the border of the United States. Of course, fentanyl is a big topic of conversation, quite a lot of which travels through the crossing point in the US border with Mexico and the United States. Of course, Sheinbaum and Trump have a seemingly friendly relationship. Of course, Donald Trump has aggravated the Mexican government with initial tariffs imposed. However, these were later decreased. Dr. Nagao joins us once again. Much apologies for that, audio issues. Can we go back and talk about the implications that a strike from US President Donald Trump would have if he did indeed, even if it wasn't on government sites, violate Mexico's sovereignty like he's talking about?
Yes, indeed, for the President Trump, this is a very serious issue because the drug is in this case smuggled to the United States and create a problem inside of the United States. So for the United States, this is a domestic issue, even if it's an international issue. So that's why President Trump making the pressure to the other country to crack down the drug cartel. And this remark reply to the media question is, of course, President Trump making the pressure to the other government to make the strong method against the drug cartel. So this is one kind of the intimidation style, but the effective way to persuasion. So that's why we need to be careful the remark of the President Trump. He did not say that he has already decided to do that. But it's okay for me to do that. So that's why there is a possibility he will do that, but he hasn't decided yet. It's the current situation. So that's why there is a possibility it will happen, but not decided yet. Still, this is a part of the negotiation, part of the diplomatic pressure. So in case of the Mexico, in case of the Colombia, in case of the Venezuela, if they crack down the drug cartel very well, effectively, and cooperate with the United States, it will, American attack will not happen. But if they cannot do that, because of this is the issue for the domestic audience of the United States, of course the U.S. has a strong will to do that because voter in the United States is waiting the strong method against the drug cartel, even if they are located in other country, and it will affect the election next year. So that's why this is needed. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Nagao, for joining us here on NewsX World. It's always a pleasure to get your insight. Now we move on, and COP30 hosts Brazil produced a first draft today of an agreement between nations at the UN climate talks after negotiations on the sticking points stretched late into the night. The draft includes a sweep of options on the most difficult issues, reflecting the gulf between the nearly 200 nations in Belém and the work still needed ahead to refine a final compromise. The text leaves open a wide range of possibilities on the flashpoint issues in Belém, trade measures, finance for poorer nations and global inadequacy of cutting carbon goals. However, EU climate chief Wopke Hoekstra has ruled out revisiting financial pledges after the release of the draft agreement at the UN COP30 summit. Okay, we move on. Now we move on, and Cloudflare has announced that it has fixed the technical issue that led to disruptions across various popular platforms, including ChatGPT, X, Perplexity and Spotify. According to the company's status page, it had deployed a change that restored some services, including dashboard functionality, while still addressing broader application-level issues. Despite this, many users continue to report intermittent issues with affected services, which included disruptions on major platforms like Amazon Web Services, Canva and League of Legends. Earlier in the day, Cloudflare had acknowledged the outage, stating it was dealing with an internal service degradation and was working to restore normal operations. Well, that is all that we have time for. Keep watching.